What's going on, guys? This is Crimson Reaper 1981. The reason why I'm making this video today is because I want to give my thoughts and my opinions on why I think Capcom should release Resident Evil Village on current gen consoles along with next gen consoles. And that being that, one, because a lot of game companies and Sony themselves said that they're going to continue making games for the PS4 for at least 2 to possibly 3 years from now. So that's one of the reasons why I think that Capcom should release Resident Evil Village on current gen consoles along with next gen. The second reason is because I think that Capcom owes me, and I think Capcom owes all the fans. And the reason why I say that is because I basically was a stupid ass and decided to buy the Resident Evil 3 remake because I thought it would be good based on the Resident Evil 2 remake did so well. Well, the Resident Evil 3 remake is a piece of petrified dog shit that's not worth the $60 price tag that Capcom basically put on it. To me, the game was so short that to me, and I'm sorry for the spoilers, basically, for anybody who hasn't got that game and beaten it by now, basically, I think that Capcom could have released the Resident Evil 3 remake as a DLC for Resident Evil 2 remake at a $20 price tag because that's what it's worth. Not to mention the reason why I think Capcom owes me and other fans is because I bought Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil 5, and Resident Evil 6. And I know a lot of people did not like the direction that those games went into because it was more action-oriented than it was survival horror. But I basically bought those games and I basically played them for the story. Now, I bought Resident Evil 4 when it first came out on GameCube. Then I bought it again on PS2. Then I bought it again on PS3. And then I bought it again on PS4. Same thing with Resident Evil 5. I bought it originally on Xbox 360. Then eventually, when the Gold Edition came out, I bought it on PS3. Then eventually, I got it on PS4. Same thing with Resident Evil 6. I bought that on PS3, and then I bought it on PS4. But anyway, I know a lot of people didn't like those because basically they were more action-oriented and not really survival horror, basically what most people were used to with Resident Evil. But I bought them, and I played through them, and I didn't really have a problem with them at all. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I mainly bought it for the story. I mainly played it for the story. I mainly played it for the story. So, and then they came out with Resident Evil 7, and, I was like, this is awesome. I played the demo. I thought it was awesome. I thought they really did a good job on the Resident Evil 7. Then they came out with the Resident Evil 2 remake, and I was completely blown away by the game. The only two issues I had with the game was the plug puzzle, because it seemed like you had to basically know chess or know anything about the game chess to understand the meanings of the puzzle. And to be honest, I had to look it up online because I couldn't figure it out myself. I didn't really particularly like that part, and I didn't really like the fact that Mr. X pretty much followed you damn near everywhere in the police station, besides into the save room, the STARS office, and a couple other rooms. But other than that, I had no problem with the game whatsoever. I thought they did a phenomenal job on the Resident Evil 2 remake. Now, then I thought, okay, they're talking about making the Resident Evil 3 remake, and I was like, okay, this is cool. They're going to make Resident Evil 3. Awesome. So I thought, since the Resident Evil 2 remake did such a good job, and it was so good, that I thought that, that it's going to be cool. Well, I got it, and it wasn't. It was a complete waste of time, complete disappointment, basically, at all. I beat the game within 2 hours speed running it. Then it took me 5 or 6 hours to beat the game, and that was just me dicking around trying to figure out everything that there was to figure out in the game. And I even went back through the game and played it on hardcore mode, and still didn't make the game it still did not, make the game any better. So in my opinion, the Resident Evil 3 remake is a piece of petrified dog shit. Now, that's just my opinion and my thoughts on the game. You're entitled to your own opinion. You're entitled to like it if you want. That's, completely on you. If you like it, that's fine. If you don't, that's fine too. I'm just saying, my opinion is, I think it sucked. So I think that Capcom owes me and the other fans around the world who basically stuck through them when they decided to basically make Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil 5, and Resident Evil 6. Then they decided not to make any, Resident Evil games for a while. Then they made other games and no one, that did okay, I guess. I don't know because I never played them. So, but anyway, I think that they should basically release it on PS4 as well as Xbox One X, because not a lot of people have a PS5 or Xbox Series X. I know I don't, and I didn't have the money to buy one, and I couldn't find one even if I did, and not to mention I wanted to wait because of all the hardware issues, and people had problem with their system bricking and all that stuff, so I wanted to wait basically or whatever. Not to mention they really don't have a big selection of PlayStation 5 exclusives. Like the only game that they got that I'd be remotely even interested in playing at this point in time would probably be Demon's Souls Remake, and that's it. Godfall, I have no idea what. I've seen like maybe 10 minutes of gameplay to that, and I didn't really get into it, so I couldn't really give my opinion on that game. But to me, a lot of people just, unfortunately, just didn't have the money to get a PS5, either because we couldn't find one or we just didn't have the money, and I'm not going to pay, I'll be damned if I'm going to pay a scalper, $1,000 for one. I'm sorry, I don't want a system that fucking bad. So, but anyway, these are just my opinions. Like I said before, you're entitled to like whatever you want to like. These are strictly just my opinions and my thoughts. But if Capcom does not release Resident Evil Village on current gen consoles and just next gen only, then as far as I'm concerned, fuck Capcom. They're dead in my eyes because, they're a piece of shit company who claims to care about their fans, but if they did, they would understand, half the people on the planet, 70 to 80% people on the planet don't have a PS5 or Xbox Series X because, they didn't have the money or they couldn't find one, or, decided to wait because of the hardware issues that, they kept hearing about online. So we decided to wait. So, if Capcom, if you really care about your fans, like you claim to care about your fans, then you will understand and release the game on current gen as well as next gen. So if they don't, like I said before, fuck Capcom. They're dead in my mind. They're dead in my eyes. I don't give a shit about them. They're a piece of shit company. Because I'm tired, because I've seen a lot of these game companies who will just sit there and just go to next gen, and I get it, it's the next big, it's the next big thing, and they're trying to jump on the bandwagon. I understand that, but you need to sit there and stop and consider not everybody, has one of those systems. Not everybody is, not everybody got fortunate enough to be able to have one, either because, like I said, either because they don't have the money, they couldn't find one, or they heard about all the hardware issues that they were having, so they decided, well, I don't want to spend $600 on a console, basically, and have it brick within an hour of me buying it. Because I'm sorry, that would piss me off to hell and back. So, that's my opinion. And to me, if Capcom doesn't release it on PS4 as well as Xbox One X, to me, they're literally just saying, fuck everybody who has who has current gen. So, in other words, they're saying, fuck you if you want to play our game. You got to sit here and basically fork out $500 for this one, or $300 or $400 for this other one, and then the $70 price tag for our game. So y'all could just go fuck yourselves. That's literally what they're saying if they don't do it. Now, it's a possibility they might do it, but who knows? So I guess we'll find out either between now and April, or basically on January 21st when they have the Resident Evil Showcase, and we'll see what they have to say. I'm hoping that they'll announce then what which systems it's going to be for, and when they're going to start taking pre-orders and stuff like that on it. But anyway, those are my opinions and my thoughts. If you want to, if you want to like the video, fine. If you want to subscribe, fine. To be honest with you, I'm not really here for to get popular or to get a following or anything like that. I'm just simply just making videos and expressing my opinions and my thoughts on basically things that I'm interested in, and that's it, basically. So, like I sat there and said before, You know, these are my opinions and my thoughts. Feel free to think whatever you want. Feel free to have your own opinions and thoughts. You know, like I sat there and said before, you're entitled to your opinions and you're entitled to your thought. I can't control what people think. I can't control what other people's opinions are. Anyway, this is Crimson Reaper, 1981, signing off.